All right, welcome back, and it's News Hub Extra. We'll be going right into talking sports right now, and there's so much happening in the world of sports. Earlier on, just like I had mentioned, I spoke about Tobi Amusan and the fact that she was unable to defend her title at the World Athletics Championship. Now, that, of course, is excusable, not because people want to make an excuse for her, but I think it's excusable because of some of the travails you had to deal with before the tournament, before coming to the tournament. But I will not be doing all the talking today on the show. I have Gwendolyn Marcos here with me this morning. Gwendolyn, good morning to you.
Good morning.
It's been an interesting sporting week,
True.
I must say. And a lot of Nigerians really were hopeful, fingers crossed, that Tobi Amusan was going to come through. But unfortunately, she ended up coming sixth in the finals of the 110 meters. Is it 110 or 100 meters? 100 meters hurdles finals. I feel that you can't blame her. And I think Nigerians
Don't blame her.
don't blame her, considering all that she had to deal with before the tournament.
Yes. A lot of people felt like she wasn't even going to make it at the end of the day. So when she came sick, we were like, we know nobody even could beat her former record. So we were like, it's excusable. She went through a lot, and everybody was still solidly behind her. We know that going forward, she will do even much more better. So,
but what psychological effect do you think the whole accusation, the whole issue with the integrity unit, and what sort of psychological battle do you think she had to, grapple with before coming through to the World Athletic Championship?
Okay, with every accusation, it when you know that you are right or you haven't done it, it breaks you down morally. And when you are an international figure, a lot of people there are a lot of backlash, even from people that don't know exactly what happened. There are people in your DMs, people are talking to your management. A lot of things could have been going on.
Sponsors may also start.
So a lot of things could be going on in her head at that point. Training could be difficult, but as an athlete and as somebody that people look up to, you're always expected that your head is held high. A lot of people don't really care the emotions you're battling with, what that can do to your career or to even your mental health, so to say. But I'm happy she got to that point. I remember the interviewer continued probing her on the doping issue, and she fled up.
Yeah.
It's so much she has been dealing with already. You don't have to keep asking her that if she has given you an answer and wants to move.
But I mean, she was pretty composed. Even when I saw her answering the question, I was like, this. I was thinking, at first when I heard that news, I thought she went all crazy,
Yeah.
But she was composed. She held herself together, and just spoke down on the guy. Played down the whole question and moved on.
True.
So I must say that. Just like many Nigerians, we're all rooting for Tobi Amusan and hoping that she will stage a comeback. I'm sure they still have the Diamond League still going on till the end of the year. We can only hope that. But then, away from Tobi Amusan, why are we not getting athletics correct? Why are we not coming through on athletics? Yes, we had some bright prospect. Ese Brome is always another medal hopeful, but this time around she fell flat. The men's team, they are nothing to write home about, unfortunately. I mean, gone are the days of the Davison Ezinwas. I'm not sure you know them. But then we had some reputable names as far as athletics is concerned back in the day. But that seems to have gone with the wind. What is wrong with athletics in Nigeria?
I would say the whole board selection. Sometimes you have people living abroad, trying to just do it for the nation. That's the thing. So we need to groom athletes from childhood. We need academies. We need facilities here in Nigeria. We need, apart from football, we need other branches of sports, to be looked into and to be developed as well. Put in as much effort, they will put into football, but we are lacking in so many departments, and it's not something we will finish talking about, but we will still keep talking that, you know, sports is a major deal for so many countries. And looking at, we have so many brilliant athletes that will want to represent Nigeria, but there are a lot where you go, owing of salaries, you know, not enough facilities to train with and whatnot. So I don't know what happened this year.
So apparently we have a situation where the sports minister has a huge task on his hands.
True.
You know, he comes in with a bit of reputation, not as an astute administrator, I must say.
Yeah.
I don't know his knowledge about sports, but as an astute administrator, for the fact is that, yeah, sports, it's not, when we talk about sports is not all about football, unfortunately.
True.
And even when you come down to the football, you still have we're dealing with a gamut of issues as far as football is concerned. You know, I was having an argument with a couple of friends, and I told them that, look, whether you like it or not, we don't get the best legs to come represent Nigeria. Now, we're talking about foreign-born Nigerian players. We don't get the best. Saka, the pedigree of Super Eagles should be such that a player like Saka will ordinarily want to come and play for Nigeria.
Country, yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And the list goes on and on, you know, but that isn't the case. Sometimes these players know that they even stand the risk of just being tied down by some of these countries, and they end up not playing for Nigeria.
True.
Just like what we see with Fikayo Tomori.
Yeah. He
can't play for Nigeria again, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Same with Tammy Abraham. They can't play for Nigeria again. An unfortunate situation. But that's not what we're going to be shifting gears right now, since we're talking about football. Let's look at Spain. How the victory of the Spanish female national team has been completely covered by or usurped by this whole
issues.
I don't want to call it a scandal, so to say. Permit me not to call it a scandal, okay? Because they are, I don't know.
It's a whirlwind of emotions, and everybody, I feel like 80% of the world wanted England to win. I'm sure the English media were ready to, you know, we would not have heard the last of it in the next 10 years if England would have won. Yes, it's coming home, it's coming home. It didn't happen for the male team, it didn't happen for the female team. And to our surprise, Spain won. And this whole thing just usurped the victory, you know, all that the women team put into
Gwendolyn, sorry to interject your train of thought, but it's a good thing you brought that up, because let's look at the fact that, let's consider for a minute, even before the finals, I don't know, for some reason the British press at no point in time they never pointed out anything positive about the Spanish national team. They kept hitting on the fact that the Spanish team is disunited. They have issues with their coach. There was mutiny in the camp. They kept emphasizing on this, but we all know that even before the World Cup, even the English national team had issues.
Yes,
but they played down on all of that.
The thing is, the English media is more like you see with English players. They buy them for such exorbitant amount of money.
Or something?
Yes, they have this whole media thing figured out. They know how to put out the right stories that will get the attention of viewers. You know, they have it on, I would say they have it on lockdown. Every other league may be better, but the English media, the English press, they know how to sell their own. So if most of the time they put out the news, and nobody, for the fact that it's English media, everybody jumps on the bandwagon, and you know, that's what it is. But I'm really disappointed that this whole thing is overshadowing the victory, the Spain, the women, how hard they have worked, and the victory they are supposed to be celebrating, but all this is just is not right. And I know a lot of people are saying it was in a bid of he was celebrating, and that happened.
Good thing you brought that up, because at the end of the day, we wouldn't be talking about all of this if that hadn't happened.
Yes.
I mean, you are on a world stage.
You are the
On a
Spanish
world,
FA
yeah,
president.
you're on a world stage. It already, you know the issues that were surrounded
True.
the team
Yeah.
at the time. You know the issues that surrounded the team at the time, and you shouldn't have. He ought to have controlled himself.
And that was not.
You understand what I'm saying?
Apart from even that, there was the point he held his crotch in front of the Spanish queen and her daughter. That is another issue. Yes, you know, with women, some things are very touchy. You know, maybe if it was a male World Cup, him doing that wouldn't have it wouldn't have been nothing. But with women, we are.
But you know that, Gwendolyn, you know that there are certain European countries that do not attach pecks or kisses to their greetings. I'll give an example, like the Italians, for instance.
Pecks?
Yeah.
They don't kiss full on the mouth.
Yeah.
That's the thing. He held her. You have watched the video.
Yes.
He held her face. And okay, he apologized and moved on. He went on saying it was consensual. She now more information that she asked him to lift. She asked him to lift him up. All these things. It makes it more difficult for your case.
But okay, here is the most difficult part of it. We have a situation where he came out yesterday and told the whole world that he's not going to resign.
Of course.
That he's not going to resign, and he was using issues on feminism and all of that. Now, you can't brush that away.
True.
But these issues will not come up if you hadn't acted in the manner you did.
Simple. I understand people are saying, yes, it was the spur of the moment thing, or it was, but spur of the moment, you should have been a peck on the cheek. You leave
Or the forehead.
Or the forehead. You held her.
You know, I wish my producer could. Yeah, I mean, the pictures, the grab, and all of that. I mean, come on. I mean, yeah. I understand.
It was a lot of things. I wish he had apologized and remained, maybe not giving further. I feel that maybe they would have suspended him and maybe reinstated him after a period of time. And you know this falls back because Spain are trying in 2030 trying to hold with other countries are bidding to hold the World Cup finals. So this puts a dent in their bid as well. And he now went on so many other things saying it was consensual. She whispered into his ear that she wanted to lift him up and things like that. And she's coming out to say she did not like that. She was not interested. And it now seems like the team is backing her, saying that maybe something else is going on in the team that we do not know about. Maybe there have been inappropriate advances he has made or things he had done, because it feels like there's so much going on that this just broke the camel's back. Like Alexa said, the Barcelona star, that this broke the camel's back of everything that has been going on. So there are more that meets the eye. So I would have allowed them carry out their investigation if I was him. Let them carry out the investigation. If they don't see anything, they can suspend him and say, oh, it was a spur of the moment thing. I apologize. I'm sorry that it happened that way. It was out of joy and anxiety. And people would say, okay, there will be backlash here and there, but people would, okay, after a period of time, the matter, but he.
But now, you know, it's a good thing you spoke about that. I don't know, my viewers will be wondering who we're talking about. We're talking about the president of the Spanish Football Federation. He's not a person, but Luis Rubiales. Rubiales. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Very charismatic individual. And no one would have seen this coming. The first FA to have the men win the World Cup and the women as well as world champions. I know a record that the English would have loved to have, but
and the thing, sorry, because he has done so much, you know, for the Spanish team. You can't take that away from him. He has been fantastic. But like I was saying to a friend yesterday, it's like R. Kelly. He has done one of the best music out there, but you can't take away what he did. You know, two can coexist. He's a great musician, but he had to pay for the things he did. So if they investigate and there are other things that he has been doing, then he just has to step down.
All right, so let's see how all of this will play out eventually in the not too distant future, because as it seems right now, latest news coming out from Spain is that the women have refused to play for the Spanish female national team.
Yeah.
Moving on, there are a few male national team players as well who are saying that Rubiales will have to leave for them to also participate in the male national team. And then, of course, you want to say busybody. The English national team, the Three Lionesses, also have written a statement in support of their Spanish counterparts. I mean, when you think about what is happening to somebody like Mason Greenwood as well, and, it's a different issue.
The Man City.
Look, the issues are too many. But then let's just focus on the fact that we have our own national team. They have soared up the ranking. What we all wanted to see, but the biggest question right now is continuity.
Where do we go from here?
Where do we go from here?
Yes. I'm hoping that the news that I'm hearing that the coach has been sacked is false. I'm hoping it's false, but let's see how we can better manage the team, and we will not have issues of payment delayed and whatnot. The facilities need to be brought in, and because some of the players complain that the pitch are not good enough, they don't have enough facilities, they can't train on time. They went to the World Cup and they decided they had to now use the facilities there. It doesn't speak good of how far we have come.
But we've seen a couple of our players moving now. We've seen a player move to Juventus. There are a couple of players who are moving here and there. And Alozie has found he has a new I think she's almost like the poster girl of Nigerian football right now. And so the FA has to look at, the Nigerian Football Federation has to look for a way to make this to make the team grow from this point on. All right, we've spent so much time on this football and football matters, but then we're still going to be talking more football right about now. Chelsea yesterday filed out again Luton Town, and expectedly, well, some people would say expectedly, but Chelsea has been quite unpredictable in their performance from last season, even into this season. In the game against West Ham United, a lot of Chelsea fans had thought that, Chelsea will come out with a good result. Yes, they may have played excellent football, possessional football, but the goals just didn't come. But yesterday was a statement. Raheem Sterling.
Statement.
Yeah, Raheem Sterling.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
How so?
I don't think so, because looking at Luton Town, they just came into the Premier League promoted. How do you feature against the big six? Let me put it: the Man City, the Arsenal, the Brighton. Because looking at the way they play, the Newcastle, how do you play against those teams? That's what matters. Luton Town may just be one of the teams that still go back to where the championship side. So I'm happy Raheem Sterling got 2 goals and an assist. I've never fancied him as I would say as
a marquee player.
Yes, I've never found, even at Man City, and he has his days, but good one for Chelsea, because it's their first win since March, April. It's been a long journey, and with all the signings, you expect them that they would come good.
But let's take away the fact that, yes, I agree with you. Maybe they didn't blow off Luton Town yesterday by 6 goals or 7 goals. Well, let's wait and see how it plays out eventually. But then you still cannot take away the fact that their ability to retain, we've seen that consistency with Liverpool, with West Ham, and then with Luton Town yesterday. The level of possession, I recall Sterling in an interview yesterday rightly stated that what they have been taught, what that has been drummed into them right now is never lose possession. Even when you lose possession, get the ball back.
That's the Man City thing.
That's the Man City thing, and that's a Pochettino thing as well, know. So you can't take away the fact that they have improved in those areas. So going forward right now, I don't know what their next game would be, but going forward right now, what do you see Manchester United? How do you see Chelsea doing?
Okay, I feel like as much as they have been signing young players, they should be signing more experienced players as well to, you know, put the team in shape. Looking at the fact that Reece James, the captain of the team, is still out, on with injuries. I don't know, maybe a couple of months. Thiago Silva, I think, is like right now is the only elder statesman, as I would say.
Yeah.
So they need more players, experienced players that have played, you know, to be able to help these young ones. There are a lot of lapses yesterday, even with Casado. I was surprised he wasn't this. He didn't have this fear with Brighton. But let's see. I'm hoping they come good going forward. I wasn't one of the people that rooted for Pochettino to be signed, but let's see what he does. A lot of people say, "Oh, I'm talking because he left Tottenham Hotspur." I don't know, but I felt like they needed a more, you know, a more would I say established name, or a more experienced hand, because they have a lot of young stars, and it takes a lot to make a team.
But you see,
one
of the things that makes Pochettino incredible is the fact that he has been attributed to have the ability to develop young talents. Okay. When you look at what he did at Tottenham Hotspur with the likes of, you know, Harry Kane. Yeah. Harry Kane was an understudy to the likes of Adebayo. Yeah. You know, when he came in, he moved out Adebayo, moved out Jamie Defoe, I guess. Yeah. You know, moved out a couple of players. Asweli Koto, you know, brought in the likes of Dele Ali and all of that into the team. Yeah. So it is something that he is known to do, you know. So I think that is one of the reasons, that may have been one of the reasons, you know, Todd Boehly had seen him being the best fit for the project they are looking at. Yes, a lot of young players, and you cannot dispute the quality. True. They are young players, but the quality, they have amazing quality.
And the thing with Todd Boehly, when you sign a coach, you should work with your coach, not sign.
But he was working. He has been working behind the scenes.
I feel like most of these signings, Pochettino has nothing to do with them.
But do you realize that the director of football, came in from Southampton, and they had previously worked with Pochettino.
Okay.
So yeah, I strongly feel that they've been working. I mean, so somebody in the pedigree of Pochettino, if something is not comfortable with him, if he's not comfortable with anything, he'll definitely speak out. But then let's move on now to other games that will be played today in the Premiership. We have AFC Bournemouth will be up against Tottenham, and I think Tottenham will get all 3 points, even though it's away.
Is that Vitality Stadium?
What's your prediction of that game?
Everything I told my fans, I told everybody that anything Tottenham Hotspur, I'm taking the back seat this season, because I suffered. Are you a fan of Tottenham Hotspur? Yes, I am a proud Tottenham Hotspur fan.
Amazing.
I suffered a lot of trauma last season. The back and forth, the up and down was really emotional.
The drama with Conte.
Yes, was really emotional for me. And where we finished in the league wasn't palatable. From getting us to the Champions League and finishing even above going to Europe, I wasn't pleased. So I'm taking a back seat. Let them just do their thing. We don't have a marquee striker as at now. I don't know how the game would be. It's AFC Bournemouth. Most of these teams, they frustrate you and make you look like you don't know what you're doing. This is the same thing that played Manchester United 2-0. They could go to Vitality Stadium and get a 3-0 loss. That's how inconsistent Tottenham has been for the past 2 or 3 seasons. So I really don't know.
All right. Well, speaking as a fan, but let's see, AFC Bournemouth have not been the best of forms as well. Let's say we're looking at Arsenal, Fulham. Arsenal should easily nick that. Fulham is not in the best shape at the moment.
True, but how many games have they played? They were amazing last season. They finished, I think, in the top 10. So I feel like Arsenal struggled in the final third. You know, the last time they were out. So you cannot take away anything from Fulham. They can for sure, even if their striker has moved to the Saudi Pro League, you can't say that, oh, it's Fulham. They might just give you a run for your money.
All right, so let's quickly see Brentford Crystal Palace. That's a tricky one.
Very tricky, very tricky. But Brentford, Crystal Palace. I'm going with a draw. Crystal Palace, Brentford. I'll just
all right, a draw. All right, Wolverhampton Wanderers having a terrible time, and we'll be meeting another terrible club at the moment, Everton.
Yes, both teams. Everton is the struggle to make it above waters last season. Wolves have been sacking and bringing coaches left, right, and center. Let's see.
But at least the last coach was not sacked. He left on his own. Yeah, because he felt the transfer policy of the club, or perhaps the club was not ambitious enough.
Yeah.
This was the same thing he suffered. Now I'm talking about Lopetegui. That was the same thing he suffered at Sevilla, where it seemed they were not showing enough ambition. I mean, selling off some of their best players. I think we'll have to make time to even talk about the Spanish league, because it almost appears there's always so much noise about how good the Spanish league is.
It is.
But we know that the Spanish league is between three teams, Barcelona, Real Madrid, and the occasional contenders, to break into the top two, talking about Atletico Madrid. But let's not veer off right now.
Okay.
We're looking at Manchester United and Nottingham Forest.
Nottingham Forest has shown to frustrate you when it matters the most. So Manchester United, given from their last game with Spurs, it might just end in a draw if the VAR decides not to help Manchester United this time. Yeah, I said it.
So how about with Taiwo, will he be scoring another goal?
Let's hope so.
Good in the air, good with the legs.
Yes.
All right.
And we have a lot of Nigerians in Nottingham Forest. So.
Yeah, we have. What's his name now? How did I forget this name? We have to remember his name. We have to. Oh my goodness, this is left back. Come on. All right, so let's also look at the fact that Brighton and Hove Albion playing amazing football.
True.
High flyers, you will call them.
Yes.
And yes, they are up against Aina.
Okay. Ola Aina.
Yes. I was struggling with Dele Aina. I'm like, no, that cannot be.
There's no Dele.
Ola Aina. Okay. So let's see. Brighton and Hove Albion will be up against West Ham United. Quickly before we wrap up.
Brighton.
They
have been bright.
Oh, yeah.
And they have been bright with their signings.
Mm-hmm.
They have been bright with De Zerbi, the coach.
Mm-hmm.
They have been bright with their players. They have been bright with everything. We saw Graham Potter leave that team, and Roberto De Zerbi came and said, maybe it's to take him time to settle in. So you mean Chelsea
did Brighton a solid?
Obviously, because Roberto De Zerbi has been amazing.
I have a feeling that Chelsea actually is, in a sense, has been funding Brighton and Hove Albion, because even taking away Porter, they had to pay about over 20 million pounds, for every. Come on, well, this is where we draw the curtains on today's edition of the show. But quickly, let's have your scoreline for that particular game.
Okay, I'm going with a 3-1 win for Brighton.
Oh man, that's not fair. All right, so is Osimhen going to score this weekend?
Yes, definitely.
Osimhen will score this weekend.
It's Agbabola.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's all we can take today on the sports segment of News Hub Extra this morning, and many thanks to Gwendoline for coming through as well. We're going to a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be going to our very first conversation today, and it has to do with entertainment. There are people who will tell you that entertainment is the next big thing to happen, or in Nigeria, and a whole lot can be achieved with that. But then we'll save that for the next few minutes. So stick around and don't touch that station.